When it comes to exploring new places as tourists, most of us seek adventure, but few expect their hearts to race with fear. This swing on China won a Guinness World Record for being the most spine-tingling swing on the planet, and it's not hard to see why. If you look down while on this swing, you would see a massive 2,200-foot drop, but considering you're moving at 80 miles per hour, it's probably hard to see. In Charlotte, Carolina, a man spotted a large crack in a roller coaster that caused the park to be immediately shut down.
A statement to ABC News, Carowin says it is not uncommon to discover slight weld indications.
The Wansheng theme park in China, whose theme seems to be death, has sky-high attractions, ranging from a 500-foot-high gap bridge to one of the most terrifying swings in the world. And to make things worse, the park has been closed several times for not passing safety inspections. With more shark encounters than a Hollywood blockbuster, New Smyrna Beach is like stepping into a real-life Jaws movie. This particular beach in Florida was single-handedly responsible for 23% of the entire world's shark attacks in 2021, and it was ranked the most dangerous beach in America. Ironically, it has around 500,000 visitors a year. This is the Devil's Pool sitting at the top of the Victoria Falls waterfall. And it doesn't have that name for no reason. In order to just get to this pool, you have to cross a river in which tourist guides throw rocks into it to make sure there aren't any crocodiles on the way. And to top things off, there's no lifeguard on duty. This is a love ladder in the Fuji Mountains, called Stairway to Heaven, because if you fall, you go straight to heaven. Actually, there's some clear netting in below the stairs to catch you if you were to fall, but that doesn't stop people from getting wobbly legs when looking down. When you're riding down a carnival attraction, the last thing you want to see are some loose screws.
Let me just tighten that up there. All right, we're good.
The Cage of Death might not sound like the most appealing tourist attraction, but it's Australia's only crocodile cage diving experience, in which you can see up close amazing prehistoric creatures in their natural habitat. Might be better to avoid if you have neck problems, but the New Zealand human catapult offers the experience of being flung through the air like a human projectile, reaching a mind-boggling speed of 60 miles per hour in just 1.5 seconds, which is faster than any car in the world. Who needs a cape when you have a wingsuit? Wingsuit parachuting is when you leap off a cliff and experience gliding through the air like a flying squirrel. It's like an extreme sport that doesn't allow for mistakes. Sleeping on the edge takes a whole new meaning with cliff camping. Hanging above a 1,000-foot drop might not be the most peaceful way to fall asleep, but at least you don't have to worry about bears. The world's highest and longest glass-bottom bridge takes walking on thin ice to a whole new level, with nothing but a transparent sheet of glass between you and an abyss. The good news is that the BBC tested the strength of the glass with a sledgehammer, and it definitely passed the test.
The president has given me a hammer and said that even if I can get through all 3 layers of glass, I won't fall through.
Oh! Oh! 7, 3,
We're okay.
The Snake Island is an island off the coast of Brazil. It's been banned from visiting, not that you'd want to go. Despite the relatively small size, it's home to about 430,000 snakes, a lot of which are some of the most venomous species in the world. Thousands of tourists every year attempt the hike at the Huoshuan Mountain in China, even though the views from the summit might make the hike worth it. The whole setup is terrifying, with only some planks attached to the side of the mountain to walk onto. But surprisingly, people seem to blindly trust the Taoist priest who installed this walk 700 years ago.
How you feeling, Justin?
King Dak is not only the tallest roller coaster in the world, but for years it held the title as the fastest, reaching speeds of 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. For context, a Bugatti Chiron does the same speed in 6.6 seconds. Sometimes one doesn't need waves to make use of a boogie board. In Nicaragua, one can slip down the steep slopes of an active volcano and take in the breathtaking speeds. If you ever wanted to experience Angry Birds in real life, a human catapult in New River in West Virginia does exactly that. There is always a way up, except when you're cave diving during the Aichituknik River. These caves have ridiculously low ceilings. Forget about swimming straight up to the surface. The only way is forward tilt to fit through the creases and hope you don't get stuck. Things become a little insane at Gravity Max in Taiwan when you're slowly being tilted down, until you reach a 90-degree angle, and the tracks connect just in time for when the brakes are off. Camino del Rey is known to be one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. It was closed by the Spaniard government due to multiple deaths. That is until a few years ago when it reopened after a €9 million restoration, an enhancing safety measure, but it's still completely terrifying.
Pisar en el extremo del hierro, el suelo no era muy fiable.
Maybe not the most dangerous ride, but perhaps one of the scariest is Sky Jump at the Strat Hotel, which is an open-air leap from 829 feet above the strip, and you reach speeds of 40 miles per hour. Traversing the abyss has never been scarier at these climbing routes in Italy. That is not for those with fear of heights. We've all heard this audio at some point in our lives.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
What most people don't know is that the original version came from an incredible tourist attraction in New Zealand. It's ridiculously terrifying.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait.
This ride in Las Vegas is so terrifying that most of the time it's empty.
No. Oh, hell no. You dumb guy. Hell no.
The Death Valley is often referred to as an oven, since it's not only an extremely dry climate, but it's thought to be the hottest place on Earth during the summer, with this summer reaching a record temperature of 133 degrees.
It's still exciting. Again, we're getting lots of visitors who are wanting to get their picture with a thermometer, who want to feel what it feels like to live in such an extreme place.
Okay, a lot of people actually pack a sickness bag for this one. This ride starts going backwards, and before you know it, you're spinning 360 degrees on your own seat, as you go straight down 200 feet.
Let's do this. Here we go. Hang on. Face first.
Running the bulls in Pamplona is probably one of the craziest events that takes place in the world. That consists of letting 6 bulls loose as you quite literally run for your life. This event has been taking place since the early 14th century and attracts thousands of tourists. Back in 2017, a hotel in Houston, Texas went viral for their terrifying to see-through pool. But well, so far there's been no problems. Apparently, this place is hell on earth. The Darvaza gas crater in Turkmenistan has its crater that has been burning since 1971. With temperature reaching extreme levels as 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, this attraction was baptized Doorway to Hell. At Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, there's a ride that consists of a large circle of swings that rises 300 feet in the air and then swirls. And well, for some unlucky visitors, it malfunctioned, and they stayed up there for 4 hours. until they were able to make the ride work again.
300 feet up for 4 excruciating hours.
I'll tell you, the first hour was pretty rocky.
As day turned into night, she actually started to relax.
I got to see a sunset.
Saudi Arabia spent $746 million on a water theme park, and some of the rides are terrifying. Okay, this one might be one of those that looks more insane than it is, but if you don't fear heights, one can try this for a couple $100. Ever since 1920, people have been wing walking on planes. Luckily, you're strapped to a vertical chair. Austria's sky ladder spans 140 feet between two peaks. It's a test of balance and agility, with only a couple of cables standing between you and a 2,296-foot drop into the gorge below. Definitely beats waiting for the elevator to go up to the 53rd floor, but it's not acrophobia friendly. When taking a swim on a lake, one would think that alligators or other animals are your biggest worry, except in Lake Karachay. That doesn't have a single sign of any form of life, since it's the most dangerous body of water in the world. And it's not because of predators, pollution, or lack of nutrients, but due to an even more insidious and lethal presence: radioactivity. During the Soviet era, Lake Karachay became a dumping ground for radioactive waste. The radioactivity levels in Lake Karachay are so extreme that exposures to its waters, even for a brief moment, can be lethal. In fact, it's considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Around 10 years ago, Six Flags dropped a terrifying advertisement for a ride called the Drop of Doom that was supposed to open just a year later. Needless to say, it was a little dramatic, but the real one ended up being no walk in the park either. Back in 1994, Rod Stewart held the record for the largest concert of all time on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro. There were an estimated 3.5 million people, and people flew all across South America to see the concert since it was free.